back. If you just joined us, watching the news at 10, broadcasting live from Lagos and Abuja. Here are the stories making our headlines this hour. President Jonathan moves investors to Nigeria at the World Economic Forum. Senate plenary gets rowdy over the security situation in Rivers State. It's more trouble for the PDP in Kwara State. 20 legislators defect to the APC. And the Syrian government tells the world to hold rebels accountable for all atrocities that have befallen the country since the conflict began. A reminder here that all our top stories, including Davos and the World Economic Forum and other programs, can be found on our websites, channelstv.com and on youtube.com/channelsweb. But to get us on the move, and you must visit m.channelstv.com to view us live on your mobile device. You can also download the Channels TV app for Android, iOS, and Windows phones from their respective stores. And go a step further now and interact with the Channels Eyewitness feature on our Android and Windows 8 platforms. If you have pictures or videos to share with us, tap on the application on your device. Swipe to reveal the Eyewitness menu and follow the instructions to share your reports, pictures, and of course your videos. The Senate has summoned the Inspector General of Police, Muhammad Abubakar, to give a situation report on the crisis in Rivers State. The Senate passed the resolution even as lawmakers almost degenerated into a scuffle on the floor over the Rivers State crisis. 3 lawmakers, Senator James Manager, Senator Ahmed Lawan, and Senator Alkali Jajari, were engaged in a heated exchange of words over the issue. The timely intervention of some lawmakers and the Senate President, David Mark, helped douse the tension.
The first time the Rivers State crisis was brought up on the floor of the Senate in 2013, lawmakers were sharply divided. Then, for the first time in the 7th Senate, federal lawmakers went into a division over the recommendation for the outright removal of the Rivers State Police Commissioner, Joseph Mbu.
It is with utmost delight and high sense of...
However, at Wednesday's plenary, the Rivers State crisis again almost ignited fire in an already tense political atmosphere. A federal lawmaker, Senator Wilson Ake, raised a motion on the recent shooting and disruption of a political rally in Port Harcourt, Rivers State. A federal lawmaker, Senator Mark Nosabi, was a casualty in the attack.
What is happening in Rivers State today is a classic example of what happened in South Africa, the apartheid that we fought. It is a situation that individuals cannot have a meeting. Yesterday evening, a chief and a councillor called me. One of the chief was having a meeting in his own house, and hoodlum came to him and scattered his house, beat up everybody. The chief went to the DPO to report the incident. The chief was now arrested, chained, and sent to Port Harcourt.
However, another lawmaker, also from Rivers State, questioned the authenticity of the attack on Senator Magnus Abbey.
You have sent people to go and see Senator Magnus Inge Abbey in UK, and your convoy has returned. What did they tell you? Did they tell you he was shot? Did they tell you there is a bullet wound on him? If it is so, this entire Senate, we should rise and fight against it. But if it is not so, and then we are bringing hearsays, we are fabricating stories to cause confusion in the country, then there is a problem.
But midway into his contribution, from nowhere, tempers began to flare between 2 lawmakers disrupting plenary. It was not clear what exactly triggered the altercation. Some lawmakers hastily intervened in the face-off. With relative peace restored, legislative proceedings continued.
There is need for government to seriously weigh and consider all her activities in Rivers State, all the agencies involved, whether it is the police, the army, all the politicians.
Senate condemned the disruption of the Save Rivers Movement rally by the Rivers State Police Command and also invited the Inspector General of Police, Abubakar Mohammed, to appear before lawmakers to give them a situation report of the crisis in Rivers State. From the National Assembly, Linda Akibe, Channels Television News.
I'm handing you now over to Gloria Omezoke in our studio in Abuja for more on the news at 10.
Hello, Marchi. Glad to have you join us here in the nation's capital. The All Progressives Party APC caucus in the House of Representatives says the People's Democratic Party PDP is simply delaying the inevitable with the court order it got to stop a change of leadership in the House. Well, speaking to journalists after plenary yesterday, the caucus said it will abide with the order, though it believes it is faulty.
And we took that decision this morning to abide by the order of the court for now, until such a time when one, to study the order, and two, to vacate the judgment or the order. We know what the handwriting, we've seen the handwriting on the wall. They are only trying to delay what is inevitable. So we want Nigerians to know that today we have yet again ridiculed the government of Nigeria and the people of Nigeria, because our parliament, the biggest and perhaps the most robust in Africa, remains today the only parliament in the world, the only legislative body in the world where the minority plays the role of the majority and the majority plays or assumes the role of the minority. But as you saw today, the bleeding in PDP continues. And that bleeding will continue this week, next week, and weeks to come. So I want to see how perhaps in the nearest future, the party with an overwhelming supermajority will continue to sit in parliament as minority.
The national chairman of the People's Democratic Party, Adamu Muazu, has promised to reconcile warring members of the ruling party. The national chairman, who was sworn in just 2 days ago, was speaking with journalists at the National Secretariat in Abuja. He said the PDP remains the most tribalized party in the country that has the capacity to work with Nigerians. The story of lawmakers defecting from one party to the other is no longer limited to the National Assembly. 20 members of the Kwara State House of Assembly, including the Speaker today, officially announced the defection from the People's Democratic Party to the All Progressives Congress. But there were 2 APC members in the House before today's event, and out of a total number of 24 lawmakers, 22 are now in the APC, while only 2 remain in the PDP.
Kwara politics has been one that has attracted much attention, at least in the last 3 decades, and recent development appears to have put the state in increasing spotlight. Defections we see lately from the PDP have nearly turned sour. Just as the state lawmakers resumed sitting on Wednesday after the festive recess, the majority of the members make a game-changing decision.
I hereby officially declare for APC and dumping the umbrella PDP. Thank you.
20 members of the House, including the Speaker, made the move, saying they are dumping the umbrella for the room. Outside the legislative chambers, the Speaker speaks on their action.
That resignation of the man that took has come too late.
The defections in the state PDP has torn the party apart, and even the destination, the APC, is not having the best of times, as crisis of who leads the party in the state is currently raging. According to the party's interim national secretary, Mr. Tijani Tumsa, in a press release on Wednesday, the party said
We hereby state that our party has not inaugurated the interim executive committee in Kwara State and that the APC stakeholders in the state are working to find a convenient date for the inauguration. When that happens, the governor of Kwara State will be saddled with the responsibility of nominating the interim chairman. Strangely and interestingly, the playing field has become very dynamic and the players are also gearing up for the ultimate contest, the 2015 elections. But till then, one can only hope the gladiators will play according to the rules of the game.
Also, other stories, the legitimacy of the throne of the paramount ruler of Igara has remained controversial over the years. But this has resulted in one crisis or the other, the most recent of which took place some weeks ago, leaving 2 people dead. In our community report tonight, we take a look at the troubled community.
This is Igara, a town at the foot of the famous Kukuruku Hills. It is the capital of Akoko-Edo local government area. The town is said to be over 100 years old, with several groups of different ancestry also said to have migrated from Ida in Kogi State to settle here. The town has witnessed violent clashes in recent times. The crisis dates back to 1976. The alleged recognition of one of the by the government to rule over the others started the trouble.
Those people in opposition of the traditional, the royal house in Igara, they are bring behind instigating their boys to continue to celebrate this Equity Festival. The masquerade was banned, say about 1986. And it has been on ban. It has not been lifted.
Why was it banned?
It was banned because whenever they celebrate this thing, they kill people. They kill people, and it was no more interesting. And the only way that we can do is to, ask the government to stop it.
These are victims of the violent clash. They claim to have been shot while observing a community ritual.
At least my sister sent me a message to go and buy food because she's still in restaurants. So now they can go buy food. So I go there. I know they said they are doing sacrifice yesterday. And I can't stop. And I will stop when I heard that gunshot from my back.
I'm a bike man. I'm just passing by. Before I hear gunshot. I don't know where the gunshot comes from, but I know people they shoot me.
Several other incidents in the community can be traced to this particular crisis.
There are 5 clans headed by different heads. Each clan has its own ancestral history. The ancestral history of one is different from the other. The government recognizes one of such heads of various clans as a paramount ruler of the entire Igara. This is all that is causing the crisis. Each of these clans are independent, and for very many years it has been the tradition from time immemorial, and we are still keeping with that tradition. To the extent that when I pronounce that I rule my family, the Otaru sued me for libel. For the past several years we've been on this matter.
9 persons suspected to be involved in the violent clash have been nabbed by the Edo State Police.
They have a lot of faction in that particular community, and the police are doing everything possible. I advise the DPO and the area commander to bring the various groups to invite them for a meeting. So I think this has been done regularly, but I think they need to bring them to the headquarters so one can actually warn them and make sure that peace actually returns to that community.
And in the interest of peace, a faction of the Igara throne visited the secretary to the Edo State government. The visit elicited some comments.
As for the chieftaincy matters, I would ask the Commissioner for Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs to look into this immediately. We are also aware that we have set up a very high-powered committee on peace and conflict resolution in Edo State. I would also inform the chairman, Ms. Eduwe Kato, or he prefers to become Chief Eduwe Kato, about this visit and encourage him to visit Igara and meet with you.
For the people of Igara community, a speedy resolve of the crisis is all they want.
Well, that's it from the nation's capital. It's back to you, Amarachi.
Thanks a lot, Gloria. Always a pleasure seeing you. And when the news at 10 returns, First Bank's Group Managing Director, Stephen Onosanya, in Davos, raises concerns about the rise in cash reserve requirements for public sector deposits. That will be in business news. Do join us again.